Yo, welcome to the reaction channel, man. Marlee Savage. Welcome to the Marlee game, man. Hey. So what y'all think, man? Y'all think OnlyFans is like, y'all think it's over? Y'all think these motherfuckers really ain't getting no bread no more? I don't know. Let's see. We need to find out the behind the scenes. Let's put our goddamn tinfoil hats on, man. What's it called? The OnlyFans dream is getting exposed. See what they talking about?
OnlyFans is sold to creators as the dream platform. You can make your money from home. You can be your own boss. You could turn your independence into cash monies. But what happens when the dream expires?
Currently, the media space has been dominated by how much some top earners are making on OnlyFans. But what hasn't really been discussed is how the company has lost billions of dollars in valuation in a very short amount of time. And things just got even more messy because
Billions?
is now in a very bad situation after the CEO passed away.
My boyfriend decided this morning that after 2 years, he has a problem with what I do. So we broke up, and I'm totally having a mental breakdown live on stream.
Wow. But what the fuck you expect? But see, I went through something like this before, bro. Nigga, one of my ex girls, bruh. Like, at first she was like a mad good girl, but then she started doing like photo shoots and shit like that. So the nigga that she was doing photo shoots with, he got in her head like, oh, you could goddamn make this such and such doing OnlyFans. This was from when OnlyFans first came out. Shit, you feel me? So boom, first she tried to hide it from me, but I'm the tap man. Like, I found out every motherfucking thing through people. Somebody told me that she got an OnlyFans, right? So I go on this shit, she posting feet pics, right? So I gave her the ultimatum. I'm like, look, all right, look. Now, I got like a status in the city. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to let my name, your name is already attached to me through the relationship. Everybody knows me in a relationship. So I gave her an ultimatum. I'm like, bruh, boom. Like, yeah, you could do that. That's cool. But you're not gonna do that shit with me. You know what I'm saying? And she kind of really took that shit as a problem. Like, she really, really took that shit as a problem, bro. So right there, I cut it off.
When it comes to doing only, what would you say is the biggest challenge when dating?
Every man thinking you're a...
What happens when creators want a life that's not attached to their internet persona? Maybe they want kids, maybe they want family, maybe they want to build real relationships with people, but have that dark cloud hanging over their head. Now, whether or not I think that dark cloud is accurate, the reality is that it's still there. And maybe that trade-off feels worth it if you get rich, but the reality is that that's not true. Most creators on OnlyFans don't get rich. They risk their name and their image and likeness for a platform that is not as stable as many people think. And it only gets worse because now they are going through financial issues that threaten to jeopardize the entirety of the platform, taking away incomes from thousands upon thousands of creators. Financially, OnlyFans is losing value, left, right, and sideways. And then socially, the stigma has not gone anywhere. So what looks like easy money today becomes the reason that you can't escape tomorrow. If you're new to this and you want to be true to this, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's the only way that this community will keep growing. Otherwise, I'll have to turn to the Blue app and start putting out pictures and stuff like that. And I don't think that y'all would want that. Now, back into the video.
And then this is the last 30 days. I'm going to hit all time. And these are the two, like, so this is the gross.
There's just, wow.
And then, like, you can see that it's not a screenshot, it's real.
80.
Hold on. Dude, my heart's like speeding up a little bit.
Okay, that's just completely unbelievable.
An economy in which gas is $4 on average, people can't afford to buy homes because prices are outrageous. And people are now forced to eat the butt end of the bread, probably the worst part of the entire economy. People are looking for ways to get rich. And so turning to social media in any way, shape, form, or fashion seems like a viable solution. When you hear these claims of these people making all this money from just posting on a platform, it makes it seem like it's something that's actually doable for a lot of people. But what's never been really discussed up until now is the trade-offs of the entire exchange of posting your body and your image on the social media platforms. Right now, we're not talking about the platform itself, but we're talking about the people that use this platform. Creator Alinity is a perfect example of somebody who has had to choose between her relationship and her professional career, specifically because of the content that she does.
And My boyfriend decided this morning that after 2 years, he has a problem with what I do. So we broke up.
I mean, like even if he ain't feeling it like when you first started or whatever, like once your virgin get broke for something, you want to like keep doing more and more and more. You probably start doing some shit like fucking off on camera. Like, bro, what? How do y'all really thinking y'all goddamn heads that any nigga gonna be able to deal with that shit? Like y'all supposed to be the most purest beings on earth to a male. You get what I'm saying? So it's like once you get fucked on camera and then start doing certain shit for bread, you just lose purity.
And I'm totally having a mental breakdown live on stream.
This is somebody who's a 38-year-old content creator who has been told their entire life that they can have it all. And granted, she may be able to have it all, but it's getting slimmer and slimmer. And the clock, the proverbial clock, is ticking for her, at least in her mind. She's having to choose between a partner that she's been with for a long time as opposed to her OF career. And I did some research. For what it's worth, she is a lightweight OF content creator. But I would say she's at a crossroads because she wants a serious partner. She wants the family. She wants the stability. And she wants the future outside of OF.
And so I feel like that's gonna make me feel more comfortable when and if I do get to meet someone that is ready to have children.
She don't look 38 though.
Then I would be retiring.
Like, she actually look good.
You give me a napkin? Yes.
I hate it.
Then I would be retiring before
Won't wife it, but I hate it.
getting married and having kids. I think that's kind of like, I do want to do that. I do want to retire before having kids and getting married. I just need to find the right person for it.
The same platform that gave her everything that she wanted financially.
The minute a nigga find out that your ass is doing OnlyFans, has been on OnlyFans, it's over. Like, he won't look at you the same. Like, you can meet a nigga and he probably think you're the purest thing in the world, but once he finds out that you was fucking on camera and all this shit for bread, he would never look at you the same. Promise that.
It allowed her to have all of the juices open at one time, all of the cereal boxes open at one time. Any car and any fridge that she could ever imagine is also the one that is hurting her options in the dating world. It's hurting her prospects. It's hurting her opportunities at finding a serious partner to commit to.
No, I am not looking for a 40-year-old virgin. That's not it. No. You know what? I'd be totally fine dating someone that has kids. Totally fine. Someone that already has children. I know a lot of people don't like that. A lot of women don't like that. But I think it could be like a really good insight.
38
like
with
seeing
no
how
kids.
he is as a father.
You cook, shorty.
I'm cool being a stepmom. I think I'd be a cool stepmom.
Now, some very interesting points were raised about this situation from other content creators that exist on the internet. Miskiff, who on this platform we're not necessarily fond of, raises some interesting points. The person that she did have that did love her and did choose her even though she was doing this lifestyle gave her a specific choice. And she decided to ultimately choose the career. And based off of Miskiff's explanation, she's not a victim in this situation. This is just an outcome of the lifestyle that she's decided to go down.
Which is fair. I think it's very fair for him to do that, being like, look, you're 30-fucking-8, relax with the shit if we want to have kids. And she just chose to go this route still and lost him. It's like, no, I could stay alone, because there's not going to be a lot of men out there who want a 38-year-old woman who's half plastic and the other half fake. They're not going to want a 38-year-old woman that wants other men to seek out and have sex with them all the time and wears skimpy clothes on stream and acts the way she acts.
See, like, women gotta understand, bro. Like, it's a difference. It's okay. The difference in men and women. Like, men, as we get older, we kind of gain value. Like, we gain understanding. We gain so much more other shit. With women, y'all lose value. Y'all lose looks. That's why I try to do anything to look younger.
want a real woman at that point. They're fucking probably 40 years old.
I will say that there are some complexities as to why she may or may have not decided to step away from said platform. I do think that ultimately it is fair for her partner to have a serious adult conversation with her about this. It doesn't seem like they had it on stream for entertainment purposes. It seems as though both of them were trying to be extremely candid and real with each other. But at the end of the day, it seems like she chose the platform and he chose to leave. She said that this was empowerment and he called it a deal breaker. This is a reality that content creators that go down this pathway have had to face for a long time. And sometimes it just doesn't pan out.
Message to Alinity. You're 38 and crying that you're still not married. You haven't. Newsflash, it's never going to happen. Every OnlyFans girl, why I'm so kind to you guys in person is because I genuinely feel there's nothing darker in this world than going your whole life alone.
I'll give the people that there are definitely career paths in which, you know, you will be in that prioritize the career over any sort of romantic relationships or even platonic relationships in general. Even somebody who has now dabbled into the career of YouTube, there are many days that I find it hard to separate myself from my computer and go hang out with my friends, be with my family, et cetera, et cetera. And there are some connotations with being a YouTuber, especially one that has a podcast. I will say that people often throw me in the category of being Kevin Samuels-esque when I do say that I have a podcast. Thank God that I'm engaged, so I don't have to deal with that in the dating pool. But I do think that there's a different level of these things when it comes to being an OF content creator. There are certain stigmas that still exist, certain names that people are going to call you, and they're going to view you in a certain way, more so in an object. I'm not saying that I agree with all these things, but it's not just Alinity saying that there is this loneliness aspect that she is facing and that she cannot find some sort of long-term partner that is willing to take her serious while she is doing this career.
Have you had trouble with guys like getting quite jealous of you having?
Oh, 100%. Most guys won't date. Yeah.
So have you ever had the scenario where you have a few great dates and then you're like, hey, what are we doing here, pal?
Yeah.
And he just strikes it down because of the.
No, I've had a couple dates in the last couple months that the guy literally.
When you meet an OnlyFans girl, bro, and she like present herself as such, immediately it's never gonna be like a motherfucker who like, oh shit, I still goddamn date her. Like, bro, if she come off as the OnlyFans girl, the only thing on a nigga's mind, at least a nigga like me, is fuck. I don't want to goddamn date you. You fuck on camera. You're not gonna find a nigga if you do OnlyFans content. Like, you're not gonna find a long-term relationship. It's over for that.
Really told me to my face, oh my god, like, oh, it's totally fine. You don't. Fucking went and told all my friends that she's like, I like her, but I can't date her because she has OnlyFans.
I'm Amanda. I do.
Over.
When it comes to doing, what would you say is the biggest challenge when dating?
Every man thinking you're a whore. Like I pop my for everybody, but I don't. Okay. Only the ones that pay though.
Do you ever have like boyfriends? Dating was really hard. People have a persona of you, especially as I like grew a name for myself. It was hard to meet someone who doesn't know who I was. And so like there was always that like fandom. They met me first in their mind as Riley. So it's really hard to like reverse and teach them that I'm Ashley. Being with it's like you don't take
Riley Reed. Ha! She be fucking. And she got that fire on the video too. Yeah, I tried it. I take it for
take her to meet your mom and blah blah blah. I didn't like retire, but I just stopped shooting like boy girl. So it was like a choice that I made on my own. Made that choice because I was lonely and I wanted like love and affections and stuff. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to find this while I'm performing because it makes dating hard. Because I've dated guys and they were like, me or like, well, gave me this ultimatum, so I choose that.
See, there's a difference between the attention that these content creators feel online or maybe even IRL and some sort of actual commitment. OF can make you sexually desirable, fair. But does it make you desirable for marriage or that next step in life that I think that a lot of people have been socialized to yearn for? Attention is not love, subscribers are not commitment, and being desired is not the same as being chosen. For most people who walk down this path of life, the only thing that they're being chosen for is this new get-rich-quick hustle scheme that is ultimately a trap. See, the way that OnlyFans works is that it's marketed as some sort of temporary hustle. Hey, you're struggling in college. Hey, you just graduated high school and don't know what to do. Hey, you've always been the quote unquote overdeveloped or early developed young woman in school, and you need to get some money right after you graduate high school. Job isn't paying the bills. Financially, it's hard. Hop into this real quick, and then you can retire later. No different than any other form of sex work.
Again, a lot of people think that, oh, I don't have to have a lot of followers. I can just jump on and do this in secret, and I'll just make a bunch of money. Well, what happens with that is we see statistics like the average wage of an OnlyFans creator is $180 a month. And that's because so many people are jumping on, thinking that they don't have to do anything. They post all of these pictures, they don't earn any money, and then that's actually on the internet forever, and you really can't get it down.
It's the retirement point that really gets to me, because I think that people feel is that you can just delete this page and go on to whatever you want to be for the rest of your life. And for some, that may be...
Bruh, see, motherfuckers need to start looking at content as like talking to the feds. Like, whatever you post will be used against you for the rest of your life. Bro, it ain't no deleting no more. Like, what the fuck do y'all really be thinking? It's no deleting. You can't delete your hold'em. That's a word. You cannot delete your hold'em. Nigga, it's over for that. Nigga, so once you goddamn post something, that's gonna linger and live with you for the rest of your life. Y'all have to worry about that shit with y'all kids. Yo, I can only imagine how the motherfucking like joke sessions be in school nowadays. Like, shit, joke sessions used to be goddamn like roast sessions was critical when I was in school. I can only imagine what that shit like now. Nigga, you goddamn roasting on motherfucker, all of a sudden put out a fucking video your mama getting donkey fucked by a goddamn 24-inch python. Ain't that some shit?
The case, the internet is fast. But also, with that being said, it rarely ever forgets. You can delete the page. You can say that you're retired now. You can say that you're different now, but people are still going to remember. Even if they don't know your name, you'll always be that, I remember you. I know you from somewhere, person when you have different interactions.
Imagine what these poor girls will have to deal with that brag about, I made $1 million on my 18th birthday. They'll never be free. They will never be free. And you can say, well,
no.
Helena, what if I go online 20 years from now and they have a husband and kids and they're fine and they have a normal life and they used all that money from selling pictures of their ass to start a business? Then what? Then they've pulled ahead of you. Their entire life, anywhere they go in public, even if they move to a town of 3,000 people in Montana, they will run into somebody that has seen all of them. That is terrifying. Their children will be relentlessly bullied in school no matter where they go, even if they...
What's that image on the back of her damn bed, chat? That's like some motherfucking hocus pocus magic rug. Some Aladdin rug. Yeah, the type of bitch Helena's on.
They homeschool them. The second any of their family members get on the internet, they're going to receive a ton of messages, pictures of you know what, okay? Like,
and again, I need to interject. I'm not shaming anybody from here, but these are just the realities of the situation at hand that we don't talk about when we have all these creators push these narratives about how great this type of content is, how liberating it is for those that dabble into this. There are some aspects of this that people just don't talk about, and they try to ignore the realities of these situations. As much as the internet told you that the men that don't want to deal with you because you have an OF are insecure, I don't think that that's true. People are allowed to have boundaries and standards and deal breakers. Hell, most people, whether it be man or woman, wouldn't want their partner to have their bodies displayed on the internet for the ogling of a bunch of strangers. We can play the role reversal card. If I was to have an OF or have my body out there for the objectification of women, like I think that, or men, let me put that in there. I think that it would be hard for me to also be in the dating pool. It doesn't make somebody insecure because they want to protect the privacy and the reputation or their family image. And that's what makes the Alinity situation so complicated. And honestly should be a blueprint. She wants somebody who is a family man,
Y'all doing
somebody
ranch
who
or y'all doing
already
original?
has
Y'all do it, Jack.
somebody that they are taking care of. But at the same time, those are the same men who care the most about privacy and reputation. The type of man that she wants is the least likely to accept the profession that she's in. The men who do not care may not be serious, but those that do care aren't going to take her serious. And I think the worst part about this platform, outside of the trafficking stuff, which we hadn't touched on because that's an entire separate video, is the fact that this platform in and of itself is not stable. And as it sits right now, after its co-founder, CEO, gentleman passed away, it seems as though it's in jeopardy of even existing any longer. I think it needs to be clear that OnlyFans does make a...
Is OnlyFans finally about to shut the hell down? Damn, what's the bitch gonna do now, Jack? Gonna do now, Jack?
Ton of money. Them playing as the middleman for the past couple of years has generated billions upon billions of dollars. But that does not mean that the foundation in which it sits on is shaky. And over the course of time, it has lost massive amounts of its valuation.
Currently, the media space has been dominated by how much some top earners are making on but what hasn't really been discussed is how the company has lost billions of dollars in valuation in a very short amount of time. And things just got even more messy because is now in a very bad situation after the CEO passed away.
This may be where I expose some of my hood ratedness, but as a street nigga, I've heard the phrase sold to young ladies that if you have, you know, your body parts, your private parts, you should never be broke. And OnlyFans has set up and operated as this machine that states that, hey, if you have these things to display, you will forever have some sort of money printer. But behind the scenes, investors are not even interested in touching this platform at all.
And then you have that exit problem, because even if someone bought it, how do they eventually sell it? Like, taking it public through a stock market listing, that's essentially impossible under the current conditions. And there's also no obvious second buyer standing by, and the insane financials don't resolve the fact that this is an asset most people in finance don't really want to be publicly associated with. And I mean, if I was to guess, that might be one of the reasons why they tried to stop allowing adult content on their platform back in, 2021, plus the whole payment processors problem.
To summarize a decent amount of the financial issues with the platform only, they had some issues being connected to banking institutions. They're having issues with investors buying the platform because they don't want to be associated with that type of content and that type of space. The scary part about it for the everyday person is that creators are attaching their name, their image, their body, all these things, hell, even their family, all these things to a future of a platform that may or may not exist. One thing that's not talked about in this video too is that I don't know what happens if they do get to a day in which the company has changed hands with some like shadier companies or some shadier buyers, or if it ceases to exist altogether. What then happens to all the data? Because we know what's happening with data in 2026. But the reason is obvious why nobody wants to be attached to it. The money can be good, but the stigma doesn't disappear.
Have, the real competitors here, YouTube, Spotify, and Patreon, they don't allow any 18 plus content. And I don't see a world where OF is actually able to compete with any of these platforms in the safer workspace because, the stigma that comes with the name. It's just like, I don't know. I just can't see most creators being very inclined to be like, hey guys, follow my unless they're paid like a massive bag. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. But that problem will be something the new owner will have to inherit.
Whoa. What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44. Guys, Nina just built an app.
So now you're in this conundrum and pickle as a platformer. Put yourself in the mind of somebody who is running the business. You want your business to open up more, to be treated as an alternative for Patreon, YouTube, Spotify, or any other membership platform. But everybody in the world knows that OF is now a platform that's associated with taking clothes off and selling these types of, content. And they try to dispel any of those narratives, but without those members being on that platform, the platform becomes totally valueless. So now the platform is stuck. It can't fully escape all the adult content because that's where the money is, but it also can't fully embrace it because now they're running into issues where they're scaring away investors. the payment processors, the regulators, and any mainstream content creators that they look to attract in the future. But meanwhile, the average content creator is the one taking on the risk. And for why? Is the risk even worth it?
The distribution between the creators is wildly uneven because, you know, you have this whole notion where a bunch of people would start an OF and make a whole bunch of money. But for the most part, that's not true. It's very similar to how Twitch is in a way. I don't really like drawing comparisons between Twitch and but you know, you have a handful of top streamers on Twitch that make a crazy amount of money, and then the average streamer makes way below minimum wage.
And that entire point right there is pretty much the entire thesis of this entire video. If everybody was getting rich, then maybe the risk would make it make sense. But most creators aren't getting rich. They're not walking away with any sorts of generational wealth. They're walking away with screenshots, leaked content, stalkers, stigmas, and digital footprints that they can never get rid of. And this is where the story becomes bigger than money. You know, the platform can change hands, it can lose value, it can rebrand, and it can even move on. But for the creator, you can't just do that. You don't just wake up one day and say that I'm walking past this. Even though I have seen an influx of creators attempt at doing this, they want to distance themselves from these things. I go through the comment section of their videos and see that people continuously bring them up, even on pictures and video.
Yeah, like once you do that shit, like it's like with anything. Like once you do something and really do it, and you build like a little fan base or a core audience for it, it's like you're never gonna be satisfied. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna have to keep posting just to because you're gonna want that goddamn like that fan base to stay in tune and you know what I'm saying, like stay with you. So shit with OnlyFans is a little different though. I bet.
Those of things that have nothing to do with any of this stuff. It could be pictures of family reunions, cookouts, new shoes, new cars, all these different things. And for whatever reason, there are people that are going to continuously remind these people of the type of content that they've put out. I've even actually seen it happen in real life before, which is a crazy concept in and of itself. But I think that just goes to show that the internet is always going to exist. There's no real escaping these things.
I kind of became infamous by accident. I entered the adult industry in October of 2014, and very, very quickly I was pressured to perform in a video where the context was that I was an Arab veiled woman, and that was it. The intent was to exploit the fact that I was Arabic and spoke Arabic, and I went through with it. And not very long after, I would say like maybe a couple hours after it premiered, the avalanche started. Every news outlet picked it up, and everybody had an opinion on it, and it felt like from there on my fate was sealed. And all of a sudden I was completely out of control of my image, my reputation, my intentions, every single thing about me.
I remember that. Like I remember when Mia Khalifa had to go through like this whole phase of trying to like kind of like find her innocence back because she had goddamn posted. I think they made her like post inside like do the scene inside like some Arabic shit. But worth it? I bet she found out now that shit was not worth it. Oh no, no matter how much money they gave you.
Me was being misunderstood.
This is a warning sign for all of those who are about to type in an email address and a password. The company may or may not survive. The company may or may not sell. The company may or may not pivot, but you as the individual will always have to live with the consequences. I think the most interesting takeaway from this is that these people who have been going to the internet preaching this type of content and this type of lifestyle for the past couple of years are now tucking tail and seeking some sort of retirement. And kudos to them. No knock and no shade against anybody who has physically done the action, made their money, made their bread, paid their bills, changed their life, and are deciding to go on some sort of retirement tour. I think that anybody who can retire from a career at an early age, especially with a lot of dollars and cents attached to it, is really good. I do think that that is fine. But what needs to be spoken more about and discussed for the next era of people that are coming behind them, thinking that this is a way to go about life, is the fact that there are some real harsh realities that you are going to have to face if you do make that decision. That's where streamer/content creator Alinity went wrong, is that I feel like she wanted to be this outward person. They wanted to sell access. She wanted to, make money by being as open as and free as possible. But then later on, she wanted some sort of privacy. But now she's faced with the reality of that not being the truth. The platform that gave her freedom also trapped her into a label and a deal that honestly it's hard to get out of. And the money that looks so temporary because it was just to get me till tomorrow has created some sort of permanent consequences that hinder her for the latter stages of her life. OnlyFans sold creators this dream that they can be wanted by everyone and monetize that. But now some of these creators are retiring and realize that they just want to be chosen by one person. And that dream that they were dreaming about as they were riding around in these cars, buying all these purses, taking all these trips, et cetera, has now become a nightmare that is not escapable. And this right here, this revelation between this and the business is the reason why OnlyFans will see a collapse.